feel like I got crud in my eyes or some shit. Wash my face, brush my teeth. What the hell? Makeup! Welcome back to the channel, y'all. Appreciate y'all coming back through. Remember to like, share, comment, subscribe. I got my other amplifier on the way with the actual DSP loaded into it because that, like I said, that last setup with having that external DSP and the amplifier all on one amp rack, just not the headache that I feel like going through doing that. So I got that on order. I'm going to take this actually back. So, you know, I might be able to come out at a zero balance. Who knows? Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get those two lines ran down for the Saddlebag speakers. I'm going to get the quick disconnects put in there before I go pick up the other amp today. So let's go ahead and get that done. Okay, now in this case that I ran down these lines here for the rear speakers, for the Saddlebag rear speakers, I have a pre-existing hole in my saddlebags from my last setup when I was running a really bright Memphis tweeter, which you've probably seen in my saddlebag when I was taking it off and on. And you're probably wondering, why is there a tweeter right there? Because it was really bright, and that was the only place I could put it without augmenting my front fairing any kind of way. So what I'm going to do is use the existing hole there, and what I've done also is that I've used way more than enough actual speaker lead here, so I don't have to worry about running too short and trying to stretch things right here. So I got way more than enough sticking out the front fairing, so if I have to adjust, I can just pull back the slack. Make sure you do that. You don't want to get down to the point where you got so little wire left that you really just trying to tweak everything and get everything in, because when you go to remove your saddlebags lids or your saddlebags from the bike, and you don't have any room to actually pull it back to disconnect that quick disconnect, it's all over. So make sure you do it right the first time. Before you remove your saddlebag off of the actual bike, to put on the quick disconnects, you're going to run your connector wire to your actual speaker. So instead of going all the way from Georgia to Florida around this way, which I'm not going to do, I'm going to take the short route and go Ohio to Indiana to here. All right, so that's what you want to do. You want to go ahead and get your wires dressed if that's what you want to do, or you're just going to leave the wires bare or whatever. If you do have a grommet to stick in here, which I do have, Cicada did send one with it. They actually sent two, but they're like a light gray instead of the black that it should have been. So I don't know, I might just put them in, I might not. Chances is I am going to put it in there. But before you do that, like I said, you want to go ahead, take some isopropyl, clean this little area, because you'll be sticking these little guys on the wall in order to hold that wire affixed to the saddlebag itself. Okay, FYI, with these little clips that you got on here, you're not going to be trying to thread speaker wire through it. I mean, you probably could, but it would just be a hassle. Get the zip ties, your zippy doos, run them through. There, see? Now you got a loop. You can actually get that through. All right, I've given myself a hefty 4 foot of wire. I won't be needing all of it, but it's just enough, you know. So like I said, you always want more wire than less. So here's also one thing to know as well. Some folks and some installers will do the opposite of the quick disconnect on each side. So with this side being the female side, say if I wanted to do my left saddlebag like so, I would do it like this. This would come out of the saddlebag, the male side goes in. On the right side, I would do the opposite. I would do this versus that. That way you don't get mixed up with your wires if you ever have to take anything apart and all of that. So, but the smart thing is what I do, just take a nice little silver Sharpie and I'll put an L on one of those. And on the other side, I'll put an R. Just so you don't get confused. I gotta be fast. Remember the last episode when I said the wife doesn't want me using her towels and things like that? Well, yeah. Also, remember when I said dress your wires, because at this point you won't want to touch them again. I don't know if I said that or not. I got a million things running through my head, and sometimes I think I said stuff and I don't. So all right, off camera, I did a few little things, a few little extras on there. You know how when you be doing something and all of a sudden you be like, you know what? I don't want it to be like that. I want it to be like this. And I want this to be looking like that. Then I want that up there to be down here. And I want this right here. Anyway, I went and got the other amp. So this guy right here is what replaces the whole unit external DSP of that other piece that I got over there. Like I said, I'm getting rid of that. $100 or best offer. Just hit me up in the comments if you want to get it. I'll find out all your information later. But I'm gonna go ahead and position this. I have the speaker wires ran down, as you saw, to the with the quick disconnects ran down to the saddlebag lids, and I'm gonna get that all buttoned back together. I'm gonna get the speaker wires running back to those saddlebags, zip tied, get those all together, get the battery back in, because I'm going with the OEM battery for right now. I just don't feel like spending $800 on a battery, on a lithium battery. Nope, I'm gonna take out the little mounting bridge for your backrest, the rider backrest on the seat, because I'm gonna change seats here eventually, and it'll be sooner rather than later. And it's in the way. I get tired of trying to go around that and put all the little custom dynamics, lighting and everything in there. Anyway, I'm rambling like I said. Let me get back to this build. Just making a quick video here just to let y'all see that I'm coming along with the bike. Next video, what I'm gonna do is go ahead and plop the tank back on there, get the side covers put on, make sure the saddlebags are on there correctly, make sure that none of the wires are in the way of any kind of moving mechanical parts, you know, via the quick disconnects or something like that for the LED lights or for the saddlebag speakers. I appreciate y'all coming back again. Remember to hit that like, hit the share button, hit the comments down below, yeah, and subscribe to the page if you haven't already. I really appreciate it. Might not mean a lot to you, but it means a lot to me and the channel if you hit that like and share the page. Help me get into the algorithm. Why can't I say algorithm? Anyway, like I said, I love y'all. Be back in the next video. See y'all then. All right, then. Peace.